So at that time, all your sins are washed away, and you are now a new being
Did you feel different at that point?
Oh yes.
Yeah, in your spirit,
oh,
in your mind?
Yes, I felt very different after that was done. So of course, at that point was where my parents now found out.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yes. So I did not tell my parents because I knew they would object to it. So I did not tell my parents. I went on my own to receive the baptism. So after the baptism, I came home because it was done on a Sunday morning. From where my parents live, I was living with my parents. So from where my parents live and where the church is was a bit far. So what I did was I was supposed to spend the night in the church, not for any particular reason, but just because it's far from my home, and being Sunday morning, because they got a group of us, that they are supposed to baptize that Sunday morning. So all of us slept at the church. It makes it a lot more convenient, because of transportation to go to where the church is. It's quite far, it's at least 5 miles. So at that point, when I came back home in the morning after the baptism, my father asked me where I've been, because I've never slept outside the home before.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So he now asked me, and I told him, I said, hey, Daddy, I told him the truth. I said, I went to Brotherhood of the Cross and Star Church, and I just got baptized. He said, what? He was furious.
Now, he was furious because he knew about, or he knew something about Brotherhood of the Cross and Star.
He was furious because he has heard.
He heard rumors.
Yeah.
But if he never heard the rumors, maybe he might say, "What is that?"
Yes.
Instead of being angry.
Yes. So he was furious because of course he's
scared.
He has heard.
Well,
yes.
I mean, he's scared. I have a daughter.
Yes.
She tells me I went to a party and stayed overnight, and there were crazy people there. I'd be fearful for her life.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course. And not just only that, I've taken baptism. So to him, that baptism is like initiation.
Sure.
Into the cult, because that's what he has heard. So which means, he was furious. He said, oh no, you're not going to that church. We are members of Anglican Church. You're not going to split the family. We are all going to Anglican Church. Today, Sunday, we are all going. I said, no, Daddy, I'm not going to that Anglican church with you. You guys can go to your Anglican church, but I'm going to go too. He said, no, you can't make that decision living under my roof. My dad was very strict. So he said, no, you're under my roof. You cannot make that decision.
And you were how old at the time?
I was 18.
18, okay. I didn't know if you had gotten older, like a couple years later it happened. Okay.
No, I was still 18.
Okay.
So, and he said, you can't do that. And, I got a beating of my life.
Beating?
Yes, because in the African tradition or in the Nigerian tradition, you do not challenge
your dad,
your parents, or even any adult. Okay, anyone that is older than you.
Well, this is so far removed from what the American people are like.
Sure. Oh yeah.
An 8-year-old could challenge his parents.
Yeah.
In Africa, I was 18. I was 18. My dad, not whoop. You guys say whoop. My dad beat me, and I sat there and received the beating.
Did you? What was going through your head? Like emotion-wise?
Did you feel like God had?
Did you feel? I mean, I'm guessing more at peace. I'm guessing.
Well, did you feel like God had turned his back on you when you got the beating?
No. I didn't feel that because I knew that was going to come.
You knew that would happen.
Yes, it will happen when they find out. I will be in hot soup.
I thought you were thinking, here I am in this great, wonderful faith, and they're teaching truth, and it's all about truth, and I'm going to have an easy road from now on out.
No.
Smooth sailing.
No. I knew, because this is it's a challenge. You know, I'm now challenging my parents. I am now defying them. Yes, it's a good thing that I'm going to, you know, I found the truth. Okay, I'm now really going to worship God. It's a good thing, but to my parents, I am defying them. So, and they had to put a stop to it. So they decided, my parents, or my mom and my dad were, you know, in agreement. You know, so my dad, you know, beat me. And already I made my white robe already without their knowledge. So on Saturday afternoon, I got my white robe, you know, which we call soutane.
A soutane.
Yes. So I got my soutane.
Similar to what you're wearing.
Almost similar.
Less shiny stuff.
Yes. So I got my soutane, you know, I tied it up in a bag and I put it somewhere in the house. They didn't even know. So Sunday morning when I came back, you know, I was going to iron that soutane, that white robe, and wear it and go to brotherhood. So my dad said, no, that's not going to happen. So what he did was, I was trying to iron. Because he told me, he said, you're not going to that church, you're going with us to Anglican church.
Right.
And I said, Dad, no, I'm going to that church. I'm going to the brotherhood church. So I brought out my soutane, my white robe, and I was ironing it. He came and he took it. You know, he said, what's that? Oh my God. So you've gone that far? Because you took baptism? He was not aware. I took baptism, he wasn't aware. I now have a white robe made.
Who made it for you?
A tailor.
A tailor made your robe?
Yes. So I went and I got me the material. I went to the store, you know, and bought the material, and I gave it to a tailor to make it for me, and I paid the tailor to make it for me. And all of that my parents were not aware of. You know, actually I purposely kept it from them because I knew that I would get the resistance that I was getting at that time, you know.
Sure.
So anyway, so he took the soutane from me. You know, and he said, you're not going to wear this soutane. I said, look, Daddy, you know, he tried to rip it, you know, and then he decided, I'm not going to waste my strength to rip it. So he took it and just, you know, lit fire on it and burn it.
He burned it down.
Oh,
Burn
so
it.
It did burn. Okay.
Yeah, right in my face, you know. So when he did that, I was angry. I was angry at him. I told him, I said, look, Dad, you shouldn't have done that. You know, and even if you burn my soutane, I'm still not going to. I'm no longer.
You're not going to listen to him.
Yeah, I said I'm no longer going to Anglican church. I am going to Brotherhood Church. Then that was when my dad lost it. That was when he felt at the daughter that he has raised all his life, that has never challenged his authority, is now challenging him. So he said, no, you know, he has to do something to stop me completely. So that was when the beating started. But the funny thing there about the beating was that after he, you know, whooped me.
Can I ask you, did he like punch you or did he spank you?
No, he used his stick. He has a...
He had a stick and he would like hit you on the shoulder?
He was hitting me all over my head, everywhere, and I was just, you know, sitting there, you know, all crouched up.
Crying?
And yes, I cried a little, you know, and he was beating me. So after that...
The reason I was asking you about that, because maybe somebody in the audience may have the same situation where maybe their parents or husband or something is beating them, and they can know that, hey, you went through this.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
I know we're going to be rejected, which I felt that from my family a little bit, where...
Well, not from your dad.
that is
and
true.
by the way, if you ever said, I'm going to become a Buddhist or a Muslim, I wouldn't be you.
Okay. And it's just hard because you believe this is truth, and you want to share. And a lot of people don't see it that way, and then they get angry, and then it upsets you because you're like, but I want there to be peace, and I want there to be just understanding through their eyes and through my words. But sometimes God doesn't want to show them because it's not their time. So.
Well, I think the reason people become upset is because what you're really saying is, in a way, to your father, you don't have the right path. And you know what I'm saying? You're saying now all of a sudden he's thinking to himself,
yes,
could I be wrong? Mm-hmm. Could I be wrong in making, choosing the Anglican church? Could I be wrong? Am I really wrong? And so that bothers him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe pride steps in, like, no, I know I'm right.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he is the father. Yeah. He is the head of the household, so he gets to say, what happens in the house, in the family. That is the African culture.
What I like about the teacher Olumba Obu, he's a preacher, he's a teacher, but he teaches, that we as parents shouldn't push our children to go a certain direction because God knows the direction that they are supposed to go.
Yes. Yes, and he teaches us, that, we use love to conquer all.
But see, my wife and I are not married.
Yeah.
I want my daughter to be the owner of her own business. My ex-wife wants my daughter to go to college and get a degree. Mm-hmm. And so for a while, my ex-wife and I were pushing our daughter in two different directions. Mm-hmm. And it was upsetting Zoe here. And I was reading about what Olumba Obu said. Mm-hmm. Don't tell your children what to do. Let God tell them what to do.
Yes.
And so I said, okay, you need to make that decision. I said that to my daughter. You need to make that decision. You need to go to the Lord and ask the Lord. And whatever you decide, I have to accept that because that's what God wants you to be doing, and that's how you're going to be the most successful. I could tell you build your own business and you may be miserable. Mm-hmm. Your mom may say to you, go to college, and that may make you miserable. Mm-hmm.
Which one college was very hard, and the only A I got in school was psychology. Go figure, because people just come so easily to me, and I just understand people and kids, and even animal behaviors.
Yeah. The thing also there is, for me as a parent, I take everything to God in prayer.
In prayer, yeah.
Even raising my children, I before I even approach them with anything, I always take it to God in prayers. So, like in this case, okay, you have two options, college or business. Take it to the Father in prayer and ask God, which direction do you want me to go?
Or should I, yeah, absolutely.
Ask God, you can fast about it, and pray about it, and God will lead you in the direction that He wants you to go. And I can tell you right now, okay, I can just say right now that just like you just said earlier, that psychology is the only aid that you got. Maybe that's your calling. Maybe God is telling you something because people can come to you with their problems, right. And it's easy for you to just give them answers.
Mm-hmm. And even a shoulder to cry on, because some people don't want answers. They're just like, I just want you to listen to me.
Yes.
Me.
That's right. So maybe that is your calling. So maybe you need to harness that.
Yeah.
And that's the way I raise my children. Okay, like you rightly know, Sam, is doing naturopathic medicine.
Yeah.
And with his lifestyle, we wanted him, at first, when he was growing up, he wanted to actually go into the medical field to be a heart surgeon because his father died of heart disease. So he was really trying to learn about the heart and the type of heart disease that his father had, but as he continued to grow and continue to listen to the gospel and read more of the gospel, he still wants to help people heal, but with also his lifestyle of, trying to live a natural life.
Sure.
Then he decided, he found this path of the naturopathic medicine, which you don't just mask the problem, you actually use what God has created to heal, the body. So he decided to go into that field. And, I went to the Father with it, and I just blessed it, for him. So my Father blessed that path that he is going into. And my other children, the same thing. So you just have to look for what you know how to do. What comes natural for you, because that's the only way you will excel. When you hear people, they are specialists in this field, it's not just only that they learned it, it's something inside them, it's something that they were born with, it's their destiny, and they followed their destiny. So maybe you need to look into that, and maybe you need to pray about that and talk to God about it and harness that, because not only are you going to use it to help people, you will also make a little living from it too. So look into it. Maybe your mom is not so wrong about it, and guess what, you can even own your own practice, your own business if you do that. So just wanted to throw that in there, because once you told me that, it just kind of like ring the bell. In my head, I'm like, okay, if you're doing it naturally, maybe you need to look into it and harness, that gift of yours, where you can even now be able to actually reach even more people than the ones that, friends and family that will come around and, and talk to you, and benefit from it. Maybe you can use that, to reach even greater number of people.
Oh yeah, definitely.